Hi everyone. I want to talk to you about a really essential shift in orientation in life in general, and particularly if you're struggling or you want to create something new or some new habits, or if you want to improve things. It's really vital that we orient towards what we want instead of trying to get away from what we don't want. Okay? And so the orientation shift between being creative and being reactive. And so oftentimes it's very clear to us what we don't want. I don't want to be anxious. I don't want to have pain. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be poor. I don't want. And every single time we are focusing on anxiety, depression, pain, poverty, any of the conditions in our life that are the conditions that we've experienced up till now, we are lighting up the same neurology and biology as those problems and patterns. And we are actually everything that we're experiencing. So say we've been anxious for a long time, or we've been, not living the life that we want to for whatever reason. Well, that's the known. That's up until now. That's everything that is familiar. That is, so everything that we're thinking and feeling, all our thoughts about that, all our feelings about that are all based on what we already know. And so that is, and what typically what we're trying to do, maybe in therapy or maybe in other places in our life, is we're typically trying to figure those things out, think about those things, solve those problems, fix them. And what we're doing is we're staying stuck in the parts of our brain where those problems exist, where those problems live. And especially if they've become habituated, we're trying to use our thinking brain to figure them out, when really the habituation is down deeper in the lower recesses of our brain, which doesn't respond to thoughts. It doesn't respond to thinking. It only responds to emotion and to sensation in our body and to breathing and to our physical actions. And so we have to be willing to create the future instead of reacting to the past or trying to fix or solve or heal or change the past. We need to create what we want. And to do that, we need to know what we want. Now, to some degree, however, by definition, the future is unknown, right? The past is known. It's familiar. It's what we've got up until now on whatever given subject. So if we are saying, well, when I close my eyes and what do I want? And I don't want to be anxious. Well, that's because we're focused on what we already know. That's familiar. That's easy for us to think about. But what do I want? What do I want? We need to contemplate on. And again, it's not always going to turn out exactly the way we contemplated on, but that becomes our aim. That becomes our direction. And when we have aim and direction, then we have to enter into the creative process. The creative process is not a head-centered process. It's a feeling, it's an intuition, it's a thinking outside the box, it's a willingness to be flexible, to be patient, to figure it out along the way. Because again, by definition, we don't know. If we knew, we'd already have it. If we knew how, if say I want to be, if I want to be totally at peace, if I want to be totally at peace, well, if I knew how to be totally at peace, I'd be able to think about all of the ways to be totally at peace. We don't know yet. We have to put that goal out into the future, and that creative tension between where we are now and where we want to be, that is the fuel, that is the ground that we need to navigate, and skillfully, like an artist that has a vision, has a kind of a vague vision about what they want, but they don't know when they make a stroke, and then all of a sudden they are motivated to follow that in a different direction than they maybe thought. We need to be flexible. We need to be open to the unknown. And so another part of that's tricky about this is that the survival part of the brain that we talk about a lot, the fight, flight, or freeze, the survival mechanism of the brain, it does not care, as we've mentioned, it does not care about us being happy. It only cares about surviving. And according to that part of the brain, what is known, what is familiar, what is past, what is habituated is safe because we've already survived it. We've already survived anxiety. We've already survived trauma. We've already survived depression. We've already survived poverty, even though we don't want those things. See, that part of our brain doesn't care about what we want. It doesn't care about us being happy. But we have to realize that in order to bring the future, create the future that we desire, we need to act greater than how we think and feel, because everything that we think and feel is based on our memories and based on our conditioning. It's based by definition, by logic, on the past. If you can reason, if you can follow me with this logic, it's based on what we already know. So we need to act in a way that is greater than how we think and feel, that is more in line with the future that we want, that we desire, that we're trying to bring to the present. So instead of trying to react to or fix, or essentially we react the past over and over, bringing the past into the present. We need to abandon the past as much as possible and focus on the future and create the future in an artistic process. Okay? So just wanted to talk about that orientation shift and encourage you all to contemplate, what is it that I really want? And then notice the tendency that to frame that in terms of what you don't want. And then try to continue to come back to the orientation of, what do I want? What is the result? What is the result that I'm looking for? And then you have an aim and you have a direction, and then you can set up tasks. Tasks are small steps along the way. Goals are bigger steps along the way to that end result. So what is the result? What are the tasks along the way? What is next? What is needed to move me in that direction? Okay? Have a great day. Love you.